Hey everybody, hope you're on days. Monday, so we're still doing the Capture Play piece, S turn investigations. We're still on episode 2 of the second one, Capture Turnabout. I think that's what it's called? The Capture Turnabout, sorry. And we're basically on the last part of it, which is Ricardo Consortio Radio. So let's get going. Hopefully, we end it soon. Anyway, this is like, I think, near the end anyway. Around the time of the discovery. So these guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing? I had my guard uniform, a whole dog, and a plan in place. We went for it on the day you found the guy. But then this little guy had to come right after me. The sack of fur was covered in mud too. I had to go back to our cell. I would have gone away with if somebody hadn't offered night and brought you bums down here. You claim to have dug that tunnel just now. How exactly did you do it? How? I used everything I could to get my hands on, see? Hammer, spoons, you name it. I spent every dime I had on this cognitive fixer. What do I get to shoot? What do I got to shoot for now, huh? Do not be disheartened, friend. Tomorrow is another day. There's an outside chance, Mr. Conso, who and Knight met face to face just before Knight's death. I should see what other details I can extract from him. You just started, so.
Hold it!
Tunnel, hold it! Shut up! Hurry down to hold it. The tunnel, you said, you don't know nothing. You don't know what I have to do. I come crawling to the fixer's monk. The fixer monk. I grumble no how day after day after day. Right. How are you gonna give me back the art, huh? The days, the months? I can get word in edgewise. You never stuck your nose in my tunnel. Never.
Hold it!
So the tunnel was all your work? Every inch. Is there anyone else in my cell when you were there? What's that, huh? Best client ever. Even for an athletic. Yeah. Now that I think of it, that doesn't seem to be digging for one guy. Yeah, well. You didn't know the half of it, kid. But then I got a choice. Just nobody am. Look at call. Damn rules are calling this alibi. You know? The rules are being a great fee for pay, similar. Hey. How are you didn't start sympathizing with the suspect? Oh, I was just joking, Mr. Edgeworth. Ain't no stinging joke to me. The punks owe me.
Hold it!
The uniform was that from the fixer too? Sure was. He has stuff on one of the guards. Had the guy swiping from a palace locker. And were you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel? Nope. I got turned on. I had to hold until I got to the holding cell. Once I was out there and all dressed up, opening cell door should have been a piece of cake. Here we go, 3 seconds. And then the fireball jumps up on me. Which would be the moment caught on camera. See, I'd be grateful if you could add that to your testimony. Once I got out of that tunnel and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake.
Hold it!
Opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake, you say? Yeah. Anything's easy after dragging yourself for a hole in the ground. And you were familiar with the layout of the detention center? Even though you lived in the prison? Why wouldn't I be? Oh, this? And like I've never been there before. I like his animations. He's familiar with the detention center, then he'd surely be aware that unlike the doors in the main prison, wooden cell doors aren't locked with actual keys. I'm sure Mr. Concerto would have needed that particular piece of evidence to make his escape. Oh. Let's focus on something else, though.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, when was it that you realized you were being pursued? Right when I got out of the tunnel. Right when I thought that I was home free. Arr. You didn't notice anything before that? When you were in the tunnel, perhaps? Now here's Ryan. Made sure of it. I made sure of it. You know, like I would have been all over me like a rash if he had been. I was so close. I could have smelled him. Then he was the little. Then there he was, the little bum. Hey, don't you think you're being a little mean to your friend? Poor Tay. Mean nothing. You wrong with me last time, and now he's wrong with me again. Because over me, what am I supposed to do? Come after me yesterday was bad. Coming after me yesterday was bad enough.
Hold it!
Right. You didn't consider trying to escape a Teddy? Would have ever could have. But all that mud would have given us away. Chances to get a slammer don't exactly grow on trees, pal. When comes along, gotta do it right. What about the one who loves him most? Almost tragic. There's an outside chance Mr. Antargio and Mr. Knight met face to face just before his murder. I should listen to each of his statements and look over the evidence we have. Here we go. Oh.
Objection!
Not the key. I'm pretty sure it's that. Wait, looks like he's busy chasing a fly, Mr. Ashburn. Take a look at this review, Mr. Concerto. I didn't think he heard a word you said. No! He's luring me on purpose! In that case, I can handle something that will really get his attention. Yeah!
Objection!
Diamond the statement.
Objection!
Just because contract to him is concerned. That's your best shot, kid. Mike Brenner has a better job than you. Like throwing a decent punch there. I look at the sign. Indeed, my next one will be right on the money. I even the comments before he knows it.
Objection!
Okay, thanks.
Objection! Objection!
Pretty sure that's the statement.
Objection!
God damn it! Ah, right sort of idea, wrong statement. Again!
Objection!
Ah. You claimed that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it. Yeah, you got a problem with that? Because we can make it a problem, if you catch your drift. Even if you once had reached Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How else did you plan on opening it? Mr. Kazuto, I possess that leaving the cell would have been a piece of cake only because you had the key. I don't got no stinking key. Didn't need one. It was because the door was open. I walked right.
Objection!
Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There would be no reason to lock it. There would be no reason to lock it. Even as I was indeed unlocked when I went to a 7 for myself. So perhaps when you finally succeeded today, it truly was unlocked because it was after the murder. That you had attempted to escape previously. Yeah, the script showed when you tried to fail because they caught you. Which was during the circus performance, before the body was discovered. Holding cell was still locked at that time, because no one knew that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to his cell on you. Without it, your escape would not have been possible. Are you saying, could he really have? I believe he could, yes. The theft for the key was, in fact, perpetrated by none other than Mr. Consario. Carcerio. He was the one who attacked the guard. So he's the one who attacked the guard. Not just the guard, Knight too. All to gain possession of the guard's key. Wasn't me, you lazy bum. I didn't even know the guy.
Objection!
After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape. A moment when the prison would be almost deserted. That's right. The moment of the show, just before the discovery of the body. Unluckily for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend. Hold it. Tetsuya, you got perf genius? Oh. I'm prepared. Alright. This ain't your first when you huh? Knight knocked the guard for the count, and everyone knows it.
Objection!
Don't play games with me. Knight was as much the victim as the guard in this case. In fact, I have proved that Knight had been attacked by in his cell.
Take that!
He found traces of Knight's blood on the cleanly wiped floor in his cell. Of his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing other than him having been attacked? It was you who attacked him. You ambushed the both of them and stole the keys. I yell out. What do you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood up good. Ain't no way you should have found it. Okay. So why did you think you had to wipe it up anyway? If they checked Knight in the guard's hands, they would have seen those who never came to blows. And that blow, and the blood gave up the whole game. Ain't no way they figure there was a third man in the ring. Plus, once they started sniffing around on the floor, they found the tone and the heartbeat. So you wiped out the blood to buy yourself a little more time, so you can wait for a better opportunity. Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear of the prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys. Right in the... Yes, sir. He'll buy a lousy stinking bum. Fine, you want keys? Here. Hope you choke on them.
Overruled.
Wait a moment. If Mr. Conservator here had the keys... Indeed. Your Honor? Your fear relies on Knight having used the keys he allegedly stole to escape his cell. That was the only way he would have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and be moved to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that that fear cannot possibly be true. No! Guess it changes things up a bit, yeah? The only person who could have moved Knight's body is the one person who knew about that tunnel. No! You gotta be freaking... Mr. Concerto, you're under arrest. Come quietly now, pal. But you got the wrong... I didn't do nothing. Alright, fine. I knocked the two chums out. I stole the keys. But that, I went right back to my cell and waited for my moment. Next time I went to Knight's cell, there was nobody around. I mean, nobody. Plus, his body was found in the workshop. Think I just magically my way in there or something? I couldn't even gotten out of my cell. Indeed, you only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell back in the prison. But Mr. Kansas' dog would. What? It was not you, but Helmut who moved the body from your cell to the workshop. I gotta deny. You're saying he wasn't the only con in this conspiracy. Indeed, one can easily imagine that Mr. Concerto and Mr. Kansas might have worked together. Mr. Concerto could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell. And then Mr. Kansas' dog took him from there to the workshop. There are no restrictions on the animal's movements within the prison. Movement between the detention center and prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. There's only one possible route, and only you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Concerto. Oh, after you be so sure, huh? Maybe there's more of them and you just don't know. Something tells me that you're digging an even something tells me that digging even a single tunnel was arduous enough. You got that right. You tried scrapping more than one hole in a dirt of a spoon. Luckily for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Somebody already did a bunch of the work for me. What? You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself? Nope, found it when they put me in the cell. Ran all the way from there to the well in the yard already. Even looked down the well. I'll check it from there. It was the same tunnel, right? I just made good at what somebody else already started. Then what was the original tunnel for? Who knows? You're one of all the answers, pal. Maybe someone else tried to break out? Ooh, or maybe the animal took it. Animal took it. Like get water from the well or something? I've heard more possible scenarios than that in B-grade movies, Kay. Well, it's Draghead. Ain't no watery hat down there. So, come to figure it. Smell. Yeah, always smell kind of nice down there. Nice? Yeah, no. Smells sort of like dessert, I guess. A sweet scent. That sounds very familiar. Where did I come across a sweet scent before?
Take that!
Detective Gumshoe knows a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. With the help of a police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced this route back through the prison. And that, Mr. Considerate, was how we found your tunnel. Could that same sweet scent be what you noticed coming from the well? Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this is evidence of the body having been moved through the tunnel? I do. Furthermore, Mr. Consortio, you are the only person who could have done it. No one else had access. You have our thanks, Mr. Consortio. Truly. Finally. The truth comes in the few. Now, unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic accident. What? You ain't pinning this on me. I'm glad to see that we are finding an agreement, Your Honor. Oh, if only we were, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Consortio may have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
What do you mean? I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe he lent Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole. God, be kidding me! Got it. It seems like he attacked Mr. Knight. But that does not necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was knocked unconscious as a result. And what if he wasn't? What if he and Mr. Consortio have reached a certain agreement? What kind of agreement exactly? Mr. Knight was planning an escape for which he required a means of leaving his cell. And here was that precise means. In the form of the keys Mr. Consortio had just stolen from the guard. Mr. Consortio himself would need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape. Mr. Knight need only to shout and alert the guards, and Mr. Consortio's plan would have been ruined. And so, the two struck a deal. Well, the only striking I do is with my fists. Bye. See you tonight. So, we are agreeing that we still disagree? Mr. Knight had Mr. Concerto lock his cells so that when Mr. Sin he could have escaped into the cage. Mr. Sin was then able to move him into the prison proper, just as planned. Aha! And then he took Mr. Knight into the workshop and did the dirty deed.
Objection!
Were neither of you listening? The scent on my spy proved that it was taken through the tunnel.
Overruled.
He was moved to a cell from a cell to overruled. Perhaps if you let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not denying that Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel. Then what are you driving at? Is this a trick question? As you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel from Mr. Knight's cell. Huh? Then how did it get down there? There is another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could the body not have entered the tunnel from there? The well in the yard? Oh yeah, nothing! Alright. Mr. Stin did not take the cage to the workshop. He took it outside. There, he killed Mr. Knight and threw his body down the well. Mr. Hansen Stall then dragged Mr. Knight's body here to his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. On that note, I would ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard at the approximate time of the body's discovery? Circus, you're right. Regina, Ned, and Simeon were performing for everyone. Wait, Simeon. Ah! Indeed. And so you see how you And so you see how it must also have been him who disposed of the body. Judge Gabrielle is a truly formidable opponent. She so effortlessly adjusted her fears to fit the facts. I propose that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard, not the workshop. And as we have established, Mr. Steam was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to put the body down the well. I'm sure you will agree.
Objection!
Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supposing that the body was indeed rolling down the well, you cannot conclusively say that it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time.
Overruled.
Nice sympathies, Mr. Edgeworth. But simply could not have. What? Mr. Consortio was using the tunnel at around the time the show began. Mr. Consortio, did you have the trip over course while you were down there? No. Place was clean. If the body happened at the bottom of the well before the show began, Mr. Consortio would have seen it. However, he saw no such thing. Which makes it somewhat difficult to support your theory. Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop at some point during the show. Going, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint? What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? The body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well. Things don't look good for Mr. Saint. Still. No! Your theory is just that. A theory. And I said that you lack the evidence to back it up. I can see that. For the moment, I do not. May I suggest that we investigate the yard again? Very well. May the gods of justice go with you. Now then, to the yard. Perhaps you can finally put this case to rest. What's that sound? Yikes! Is there a fire? Did somebody else skip? Should we maybe skip turn two? Hold it. Darlings, please. There's nothing to be alarmed about. By which I mean, that's not an alarm. It's the dinner bell. Although I suppose it is rather a lot. I mean, if you aren't used to it. It certainly scared the heck out of me. I'm so sorry, sweet pie. I hope you can forgive us. Aren't you back to your post? Chip chop. Chip chop. And that's you. Recall Colonel Churchill. It's time you went back to your room. Fine. And get the picture. Come on, Ty. We're out of here. Word on the guard. We'd like to take one more look around the yard now. Oh, darlings. Don't you have homes of your own to go to? These hours are over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow. No! There's a person investigated right away. I think we've had quite enough excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers, escapees. So eventful. It's time our guest went home to Betty Bites, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well, darlings, don't make me bore you with... Well, that I am the worry. That isn't order, nonsense. Warden the guard is right. Her words is law here. We must respect her wishes. Mrs. Edgeworth? Oh. Your investigation of the yard will have to wait until tomorrow. You may keep your badge for now. The matter you're standing can wait. I bid you all good day. Well, you Americans, off you go. Why, at least there is a tomorrow for me. Judge Drabia believes a nice body was dropped down the well and then taken through Mr. Consortial's cell to the workshop. Is that truly the case? Did the facts really support her theory? It also seems to me Mr. Singh had to be the one to move the body. Was he really the only one with the opportunity to do so? Come on, Ginger. Tomorrow's another day. We'll figure it out, said Simeon. I know we will. Yes, we will. I have proven that Mr. Saint is innocent. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Oh. God damn. Oh no. I see your. Oh ho! March 29th, 10 and 12 a.m. Prison yard. Here we are again. Let's hope we can find something this time that will finally reveal the truth behind it all. Although it might be easier said than done. There's nothing to investigate? Judge Gabriel's abduction yesterday. There isn't that possibility. One you seem to have overlooked. The one you are. Could the body not have entered the tunnel from there? I'm sorry, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop. At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Sin? I mentioned Night's body. Had Night's body been thrown down the well? The answer to that question must surely show what's in the way forward. Before we begin, I should tell you my organizer. Huh. Let's see here. Oh, we had a good chunk of Babins removed. There's a cover on. I tried well slap bang in the middle of a prison. Figured it'd be locked. Well, luckily I'm a monster lockpicker. Want me to do myself? I think not. We'll do this investigation by the book. Come on, don't be such a sticking about. Whoa! What is it, Kay? The lock's broken. I'm from the looks of it. It's been broken for a long time. If that's the case, anyone could throw Night's body down the well. Judge Graviel's theory was that Mr. Saints was carrying out the murder here in the yard. And during the performance, he threw the body down the well. What are you thinking, Mazarino? Possible or no? Oh, why don't we see if Miss Lion can help us out again? He'll be able to tell us if Knight's body was here, and which way it went. Good idea. I'll call Detective Gumshoe. Gumshoe speaking. Detective, I need your assistance. Come to the prison yard and bring Missile with you. Bet, sir. Gumshoe's 7 secret weapon to the rescue again, huh? I'm pretty sure Miss Lion belongs to the Pinnock. I also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Barabix Circus and ask Mr. Regina to come down here with you. Yes, sir. I'll be there before you know it. So, what should we do while we're waiting for going? How about a quick game of hide and go seek? Well, idea, kiddo. But where exactly would we hide? He's not seriously considering it. Your game can't wait, okay? We need to call on one of your more practical skills. I think you know the one. Ooh! You better do. One crime scene recreation coming right up. Say what now? Let me show you. Introducing a great thief's secret weapon, Little Thief. Whoa, whoa! Screen spam from Pinner. That's some next level attack, little sis. Want to talk me for the deets? What you doing now? What are you doing now? I'm inputting everything we know from for the simulation. Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief. It's a device that can recreate crime scenes at specific moments in time based on the data you feed it. I bet I start off with a recreation of what the yards looked like yesterday. Good idea. That was when they were in the middle of the tearing down the stage. We didn't pay much attention to the well then. Who knows? We may have overlooked something. Leave it to me! I'll use this photo I took. Beepity bobbity. Beepity beep boop beep. That's all I did. I just got pumped projection power to max on dark skies and of evening. When no other bird dares to take wing, one alone remains all seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real Monday Robin Hood! Yikes! What is this? It's a recreation of how things were yesterday. Oh, another data I give, little thief. This gadget was a tool used by the original Yatagrasu, but they used it to plan robberies. Well, there's no harm in using it for something on the right side of the law now. Oh, but keep in mind, it can only recreate what you tell it to. It can't simulate things it doesn't have data for. And if the data itself contains mistakes, then you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation too. This particular recreation is based on case photo, so we shouldn't run into any problems. That's enough preamble. Shall we get started? Don't forget, you can examine stuff in the recreation, just like from real life. You can also present evidence to try to clear up any inconsistencies you find. Of course, thank you for the reminder. Now let's take a look at the that well. Yes, this is where the circus show stage should do. You think people will be interested in a great thieving show? I'm sure the police would be very eager to attend. These chairs must have been for the audience. Wow, I pity whoever had to put them all away. Really? Why? Ha! You clearly have never followed. Here. Oh. A great face, great single weapon. Kind of me intrigued, Mazarino. Not exactly not exactly by the book stuff though, yeah? Using Great Thief due to the odds in an official investigation. Oh, enough with the death scares, Chief. I'm cool, okay? I can keep a secret. Anything for the truth, am I right? It's possible the final evidence has already been destroyed. But K's reproduction of the scene, we have no hope of finding it. Hey, relax. Like I said, I'll just sip it and no politely while you cats do your thing. Thank you. It would be very helpful. That's a rather We should examine this area carefully. It may hold the clues we need. It's a metal weight of some kind. Looks like it weighs... Protection makes it a little tricky to read. You remember how heavy it was, Kay? Sure it was... 30 pounds! A single 30-pound metal weight. What does anyone need such a heavy weight for anyway? Doesn't seem related to the circus show at any rate. Looks like this was a sign for raising and lowering the bucket. No sign of a bucket though. Well, what's behind the stage, which means there aren't many people who could have thrown the knight's body down during the show. This is looking worse and worse for Mr. Saint. What's a bunch of police doing here? They don't seem to be well pushed for lifting buckets. This is a sturdy-looking help rope there's a sturdy-looking help rope lying on the ground. Kinda reminds me of the ropes we used for playing tug of war in school. The answer is no, Kay. What? I didn't even say anything! Yet. I see it also has a metal stick attached to one end. Oh yeah, it looks like something you could use to put up a tent. There's no tent, was there? In which case, what was it used for? What do you think all this stuff around the well was used for? I can't see any of the animals needing them further apart to the performance. Indeed, nothing immediately strikes me as the likely purpose. We'll have to ask Miss Barry later. I guess the only thing we have is logic. Let's try the two at least, and then go from there. No. Want to double check? Why did I? This pond is home to the Warden Warnagar's beloved alligator. And look, those bones must have been from her latest meal. I somewhat doubt an alligator would pick a carcass clean like that. Think? I've got the feeling she's rather lily-like in her own way, actually. You say so. Well, I do. I kind of have a sixth sense for these things. Interesting talent, though not one I'm particularly envious of. Nah, that's one impressive fence. Kind of, please don't. It's electrified. Wonder what's on the other side. What was the name of our trunk hobby friend again? Asa the Asian elephant. Of course, how could I forget? Not exactly inspired though, is it? Is Miss Barry having an off day when she came up with it? My gosh, Mr. Edgeworth! Not in front of the poor elephant herself? I suspect that's about all there's to find for now. Detective Gumshoe should be here soon. Okay, can you power down Mr. Thief now? Sure thing! Prepare to return to normality. How much then we can work with? Sorry, sir, I came as quick as I could. Ah, speak of the devil. Ah, detective, that was indeed impressively quick. Anyway, sir, never did like to keep you waiting. Thanks for coming all the way to Regina. No problem. This seems way more fun than rehearsals, so I ditched them for the day. It's very much appreciated. Alright, detective, let's get started with Missile. Yes, sir! Hey! Missile! Over here, boy! What's the matter? Come on, boy. Come on. What's wrong with him? Looks like he's scared of something, sir. Eh! Alligator! Guess he's not a fan, sir. Well, I doubt he'll be much help to us like this. Any other bright ears, Mazzarino? Yes, Ashley. Miss Barry, would you mind lending us a hand? Oh, I'd love to! Just tell me what you need. You need me to teach Alice some tricks? I don't doubt she could do it, but nothing quite like that. I simply like an account of what the yard looked like during the show. I know where this is going. You're thinking of using Little Thief again, am I right? You'd be so kind. Okay, I plugged in all the data. Firing up the simulation. No. I'm sorry, I'm making my space. Hey, here you go. This is what the yard was like during the show. The time at which the body was was supposed to have been throwing down the well. Wow, this is so amazing! It's like magic! No magic here, just sweet, sweet data. Which is why... The area behind the stage is missing. Yeah, Regine said she was involved in getting the stage set up. What? So we don't have data on what it looked like back there. No data, no simulation, huh? Hurdle. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simeon do everything by himself. Oh, no. It's all my frilly associate's fault. Objection, Fender. Hey, we got a fresh simulation now. But we still have the other data too. I can switch back like whenever you want to the recreation of them taking down the stage. You can summon C before and both during and after the show. And switch between the two at will. I can switch between the creation using this button to talk to Kid. Well then, let's continue our investigation, shall we? So, do you come visit the prison often, Regina? I sure do. I have so many little friends here. It's wonderful. And they're all such sweet the old faces and the new. I'm a new friend on Tuesday. Allie is just the cutest. Cute. It's a full-grown alligator looking in the depths of the pond. Are you sure about that? I'm not worrying. You could just walk up to her and chomp, you know? Oh, don't be silly. You'd never do anything like that. Especially since she's not doing great. I heard she has been herself since yesterday. I'm so worried about her. You guys are worried too, right? Right? Yeah, totally. Super worried, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, super. Don't rope me into this. Here the room. It appears that we're missing some data on this at this point in time. Yep, that's about the size of it. You gotta go steal some data. I don't steal data, okay? I use logic and deduction to get what I need. Well, I'm more of an act first, think later gal. Please don't add to my workload with your recklessness. I hate to have to order your arrest. Alright. Don't say a word, sir. I know what you're looking for. It's written all over your fist. It is? Miss I may be temporary of action, but my fisherman is good to go whenever you need him. Oh, I want to give the metal detector a shot. I have that too. Never seen him so excited. I'll be sure to let you know if I need other detective. Chairs are lined up neatly for the show. Though we know that there were a few empty seats during the performance. Huh? Something about the space. The way seats are arranged reminds you of a karaoke contest I entered as a kid. Entered a karaoke contest? I sure did. I came in second. Even in the depths of the night, when no other bird dares to take flight. Well alone, soars to shine, their light rises over the world's flight. Tell me you didn't actually sing that. I sure did. You did well to take second place, or perhaps solo to more act. Whereas more does she fail to steal first place? No overthinking this. Story of forbidden love between a tiger and an elephant. Wish you could have seen it. Okay. Wish you could have seen Simeon up there on that stage too. Oh, he was wonderful. The way he flew off that stage. Ah, yes, that scene. This victory was depicted in a very unique manner. Whereby the film was sent flying from the stage. Having been ejected from the scene in this matter, the film no longer appears in the performance. And you're saying that the crime took place during that time? Wait, how long would you say Mr. Saint was off stage for, Mr. Barry? Let's see, I guess it was around 15 minutes. This is just Raphael said. Isn't it pretty hairy, health and safety wise, for having an Alvin fling a guy off the stage? No, I said it's very gentle. I'm not sure it changes much if she flings him gently or roughly. Huge on the fact, when we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him. But by the end, he was flying off that stage. Not because of Ozilla though. Seeming to have figured some kind of trick apparently. Isn't that amazing? Trick? You have any idea what kind of trick? For me? Oh no, it was Simeon's big thing. I wouldn't know where to start. Spawn is home, one of the guards' beloved alligator. Like those. Oh. Stupenda held Asa, the ancient elephant. Now empty, as the lady herself was on stage. I wonder how they got her here in the first place. What do you mean? Well, the entrance to the yard is people size. And there's like a gazillion mega what's probably through that fence. Kinda risky, no? Not if one turns off the electricity. Yeah, but then other prisoners will escape. Oh, the entrance blocked by an elephant. Oh, an entrance blocked by an elephant? Not. This is a real puzzle, alright? I need to get some more thought. You seem to be enjoying the challenge. I'll leave her to it. The basket was empty in the other recreation. Oh yeah! But it was definitely empty in the photo I took too. Oops, sorry. I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier. Oh? That basket was holding the steel's food, but on the morning show, all the apples that were in it have vanished. Poof. I totally forgot to mention it. Sorry. Disappearing apples. We can note this. Looks like we have a lot more to work with now. Let's try logic. The trick Mr. Saint performed for his big scene. Could it have been something to do with all the items we found by the well? Okay, I'd like to have another look at the equipment around the well from yesterday. Could you have Mr. Thief bring up the recreation from where they were tearing down the stage? You got it! Taking another look at these items, they now have been used for this trick of Mr. Saint's. So it's possible enough. Maybe I could add it to the simulation? Good idea. Please go ahead and ask Mr. Sink for the details. Roger, that. I'll be right back. I'm back! And he told me exactly how he did it. Excellent. Well, how does it work? He said he used a pulley at the top of the well, to suspend a heavy weight from the rope, and lure it down into the well. The other end of the rope went through 2 more pulleys and was tied around his body. Let's see, so he used it. So he used the down pull of the weight to help launch himself into the air. We'll help him launch himself. And how did he make the weights only drop when he wanted it to? He used a stick to stop it. That's high. Miss Parry didn't seem to know anything about the trick or the contraption he built for it. In which case, I suppose that it would have been Mr. Saint himself who pulled out the stake. That's right. And to do that, he's a second length of rope. He tied it to the stick, and then, when he gave it a sharp tug, the stick was released and the weight dropped down the well. It's a great trick. I have to steal it. This one has to go in the Great Fate's repertoire. It might not be quite that easy. These kinds of circus tricks can require years of practice to master. Simply stealing the idea won't be enough. Alright, practice it is then. But before you run away to do so, would you mind updating the simulation? Oh, right! They make us see it'll work for ourselves. Okay, I'm switching back to the recreation of the performance. Nah, yeah, not the. Little Fate should be able to reproduce the trick 9. So this is how Mr. Snape performed this trick. Simius full of surprises, huh? I mean, dropping a whip down a well to help him fly off the stage like that? That's genius. Indeed. I imagine he would have needed quite a lot of weight. More than him at the very least. It would have taken some serious pull to lift him into the air like that. Yeah, probably a ton of practice. Let's try logic again. Wait, doesn't that seem odd to you? No. You have noticed, Detective. There's something strange about the weight we found. The weight on its one weight on its own wouldn't be heavy enough. A single 30-pound weight couldn't have lifted Mr. Saint off the ground. Oh yeah! In this case, there perhaps be some weights missing. This is job for my 7 secret weapons, sir. If you need them arise, I suppose I should speak for him then. Wing and a prayer. Yes. Detective, I have a need for one of your secret weapons. Roger that! A metal detector, if you would be so kind. Oh, jeez, not going to use my fishing rod. Oh, where we get scarred? Let me run you through how detector works, sir. It's simple enough. You're saying this, if you use this sign, and this gauge, will tell you how close you are to something made of metal. The closer you get, the more strongly it'll react. And it starts going out like this. Just give me the order to examine the spot where I'm standing. Wait, what do we have? Oh, the vents. Anyway, that's how it all works. Tell me where you want me to look, sir, and I'll get right on. Find something! There's something here, sir. I don't see anything metallic. What did the detector pick up? Guess it must have picked up some iron sand. Iron sand? As in sand you can pick up with magnets? That's the stuff! You can find it at the pizza tent. And I got the thing we need right here. And you need secret under the birth. 6 or 7. You making this up as you go along? It's in the order magnet I found at the hardware store. What's this? I'll just bring it close to the ground on. Ta-da! It's picking up iron. Oh, hey. Come, little guy. Come to Papa. It must be nice to be so easily entertained. Regardless, the investigation must continue. Back to it. Sir, I'm picking up something over here. Take a look-see. Found these little guys in the grass. They're the same as the weight we found by the well. It must be from Mr. Saint's trick. Did someone hide these on purpose? I caught 4 altogether, sir. That'd be more than having the sand and flying. So somebody hid several the same weights as the one by the well. Why? Why over here? Sir, nice work. Yes, nice work, Mean. Alligator! You're gonna give me a heart attack. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It's the metal detector, sir. It's, reacting to the alligator? What? How? Yours not responding to the weights we just found? No, sir, I'm sure this is something different. I'm sure it's just coming from the alligator. And she's gone. Ha, we scared that big snapper good. I don't think that's it, Kay. Huh? Damn, what is it? Ellie hasn't been herself lately. It's the name, Ellie, the warden's favorite pet. She wouldn't even look at the food Warden got or brought her yesterday. She was acting as if, I don't know, as if maybe she had eaten something that didn't agree with her? Maybe the metal detector's responding to whatever she ate, sir. Oh no, what if she ate one of the weights? I highly doubt that even an alligator would swallow a 30-pound lump of iron. What did the metal detector actually pick up? And why would someone hide those weights? Perhaps I missed something when I looked at the equipment at the well. Okay, could you recreate the scene again? Right up! Yes. What if the killer was an invisible one? Go on. Well, the weapon came from out north, and nobody knows how the bomb was moved. None of that makes sense, unless you put an invisible man in the picture. Detective, don't tell me you think invisible people really exist. You know, sir. They thought of what to see one though. Well, a winning idea. Perhaps we should make your assignment to Mr. Winter's permit from tomorrow. Gotta be kidding me! That kid still probably believes in Santa Claus. People in glass houses. Apples in the basket were likely eaten by Asila. Really? That's strange. I made sure to put the cart where her trunk couldn't reach them. Are you sure about that? Oh yes, it was still full of apples the night before the show. We must consider the possibility that the cart was moved to somewhere within Asila's reach. A large basket full of apples couldn't have been moved by the wind, which likely means somebody moved it for a reason. So before the show had even started, the cart had been moved, and its apples eaten. Yes, it seems to be the most probable timeline. Let's update the recreation, okay? Will do! I'll add that into the simulation for the performance then. Let me change it back to that recreation first. Updating on where... Here's what Regina told us now. There, all done. Little wonder, it smelled like of animals. It's being used for the elephant. The whole Asila's apples, right? Yep, it was full of them the day before the show. They vanished overnight. Oh, did you pick yourself a name, Mr. Ashworth? Quite possibly. The door appears to be locked. Want me to open it? I guarantee anything, but I'll certainly give it a try. No, if we deem it necessary, we will simply ask for the key. Oh. That's one impressive. I'm sure I could climb it if I... Do you have any logic left? The basket of apples. It's a spot to look, sir. Poor little guy scared out of his skin. I hope they haven't tracked the scent again, but that clearly isn't in the carts now. That's one heavy weight, and it makes you think how much this must have been weighing on Simon. It does. I'm not so sure I quite see it myself. Oh, until I don't have the real thing here. Alright, I hang around your neck like a big old albatross. Then we'll see how you like it. There's some citruses we tried. I can promise you that. This tarp. It's just like the one we saw in the workshop. Tarp, it's just the one we saw in the workshop. Yes. Why is it here? Yeah, but why is it here? Are you okay, Mr. Ashworth? You've gone kind of blank. I intend to stay blank until you stop stealing my thoughts. Cersei used the well to construct a contraption that would send him flying from the stage. He made clever use of 2 ropes. 3 ropes? But in the Titan creation, wasn't there really? I should try switching to the other simulation and double check. Pulley and a rope. I suppose the two tend to go together. They sure do, like a great thief and her treasure. Gotta have one with the other. Sorry, but the proper pairing in this case is a great thief and a set of handcuffs. What's the mission? Oh, we have the deduce. Okay, how about I see it first?
Eureka!
Think about the two recreations. One during the performance and the one we're looking at right now. There's a major difference between the two. Namely, that one of the ropes is missing. Oh yeah! Mr. Snake's trick wouldn't have worked with the only items we've seen before us. So what happened? Where did the missing rope go? I think one of the pieces of evidence we collected might tell us exactly that. Really? It shows us where the missing rope went.
Take that!
This rope was found beside Knight's body. Wait, you mean? Yes, it must have been the other rope used in Mr. Saint's trick. So you're saying, yes, that this rope did indeed have a weight attached to it. There wasn't any of the iron weights we found. Those were hidden in the bushes and replaced with something else. What was it, Mr. Edward? Come on, I'm dying here. Think about what the rope we found in the workshop was related to. Do that, and you'll find. Soon figure out the answer. Weight dropped down. Well, place the iron was.
Take that!
Can only have been a nice body that was dropped down the well. What? Mr. Knight's body was the weight? Yes, somebody first swapped out the weight used for Mr. Saint's trick. Then Mr. Saint used the contraption to make his exit from the stage. When he let the rope around his body loose, both the rope and Knight's body fell to the bottom of the well. That rope was never used to restrain Knight. It was used to suspend his body halfway down the well. From this, we can easily see why most of the weights were hidden. So no one realized they've been replaced with the body. Precisely. We can then further deduce that they were hidden by the killer. Oh there, gang! Wasn't poor old Bronco stabbed in the back? Wouldn't there be blood everywhere? Including down the well? Oh, the killer thought of that. Which is why they used this. Because stop.
Take that!
This dart was found with the body. I think it's likely that Knight's corpse was wrapped in it. Ooh, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. It's all coming tonight. Come on, guy. Love it. But all we're doing is proving that the body did go down the well. Which means we're helping to prove that Simeon was the killer. No, not quite. Wait, but what about? Sorry, yeah, but what about what Judge Gravel said yesterday? Ah, if Mr. Saint truly is the killer, why would he need to go to such lengths to commit his crime? That's true. Knight's body fell down the well when Mr. Saint used his contraption during the show. Therefore, it reveals nothing about where the real killer actually was or what they were doing at the time. It's only a sign to throw suspicion on those who were not at the show. Yeah, I guess we did suspect Mr. Collins right away, huh? That was the killer's go. Make us think that the crime took place during the show. Alright. Upside. Alright. Checking some there. Hey. In other words, they used the well contraption to construct an alibi. Miss Barry, when exactly did Mr. Saint pull his contraption together? It would have been the day before the show. The night before, actually. Yes, we started getting ready for the show at around 8 p.m. I think we finished around midnight. In which case, the killer must have switched the weight up for the body after that point. Let us know about this contraption. If he did, he wouldn't have been able to do much to prevent it. And I highly doubt that he was thought to suspend the body halfway down wells. Which means Kenneth isn't the killer. Before I fire it out. Now we tried. The basket was moved the night before the circus performance. I would deduce that the weight was switched out. Were switched out for the body at around the same time. Hard to chalk that up to coincidence, huh? That's the next question we should be asking. Why was the cart moved? I think I can hazard a guess. The cart would have been blocking that door. Which can only mean that somebody needed to open it. Now let's see what... Oh, grid. It's locked. Let me ask the guard for help. Hey, Mr. Guard! Yes, miss, what can I do for you? That was fast! Guard, where's the key for the store? Oh, the warden keeps hold of that. I'll go ask her for it. Warden Lagarde is the only one with the key? I mean, so I did open the door. They would have had to get it from her somehow. Thanks for the help! Look at all these breakers. They must control the electric for the whole prison. So we're thinking somebody got in here the night before the show, right? But why? What were they trying to do? Well, I doubt they came here by mistake, thinking it was a break room. Also come to tamper with the switches. Did they turn off the power to something? Come to think of it, there's something that lost power? Might have lost power had the breakers flipped.
Take that!
There was a 3-hour gap in the security camera footage. Oh yeah, there was! So somebody flipped the breaker it was connected to. It seems very likely. Do you think it was the killer? It's true that shutting off the camera would have made things easier for them. It would? Which means the killer would have been able... It would have to be someone who had access to the breakers. Seems only one person has the key. Couldn't be. Could it? Alright, Little V, your work here is done. First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm. Good morning, Mr. Winner. What? How did you get here before me? Good morning, Mr. Edgeworth. I see you made an early start. And I see you made a late one, Judge Gravel. This is not my only case. I am a very busy woman. Not always enjoy the freedom of a prosecutor with believed of his only current responsibility. Oh, I do apologize. I mean, of course, an associate attorney. Psst, associate, more than asinine. We'll see about that. Eustace, let us begin the investigation of the yard. Okay, I'll go get some officers to help.
Hold it!
That won't be necessary. Why not? We've already finished investigating the yard. I won quite the prize in the process. Won? But I'm supposed to be the winner. Your Honor, I'd like to revisit your theory from yesterday, in order to thoroughly disprove it. I would caution you to choose your words carefully, Mr. Edgeworth. And as I'm sure you remember, your badge is in my hands. How could I forget? You've told me several dozen times already. Perhaps you care to try a different threat?
Overruled.
We have been warned repeatedly, yes, and this time, my words seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Allow me to make this crystal clear. The committee cannot and will not tolerate insubordination.
Objection!
The fate of my badge and the whims of the committee are of no concern to me now. The only thing that concerns me is proving Simeon Saint's innocent. Interesting. And spoken like a true defense attorney. In that case, I shall be equally uncompromising. In the name of the goddess of justice, I shall strike down your case without mercy. And when I am done, your career as a prosecutor will be over as well. I hope you do not come to regret this. Judge Gabriel's Fury. My fear remains the same as when I related to you yesterday. Mr. Concerto did not see Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the one who could have dropped the body down there during the show was Mr. Saint. That's still your assertion, and you can prove it, of course. Of course you can! Who do you think you're up against? What Eustace means to say is that we've received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival. She really is a busy woman, busy looking after baby Winter. The victim appeared to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems to be... Oh. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep. Simeon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well. Judge Gabriel hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I fear there may be some of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor. You seem very confident in that. But do you have any evidence to prove it? Yes, and I think I just might. Alright. Let's go.
Hold it!
That theory being that Mr. Saint was the killer, you certainly cling to it rather stubbornly. Are you certain? And you are certainly clinging rather stubbornly to the idea that Mr. Saint wasn't the killer. Do you have any conclusive evidence that he wasn't, and your real killer might be? I'd like to see what evidence you have yourself have first. I am the emissary of the goddess of justice. My words are her words. But her words are wasted on you, I see. You would challenge me if I say the sky was blue. It's a cult? Court or cult? If you truly mean to refute the words of the divine, then come, show me your evidence. Isn't it possible Mr. Kojima simply have failed to notice the body? Assistant to the associate attorney. You have been through the secret passage, have you not? Whoa, how did you know? I noticed blood on you yesterday. On that charming key in your hair, to be precise. It's incredible! You could be a great thief with eyes like that? Alright. Answer me truthfully in the name of the goddess. Would you or would you not have noticed a body had one been present? Well, you know, I guess it would have. There you have it. Mr. Concerto did not see the body, which means there's nobody there. There's nobody there to see.
Hold it!
Could you talk us through your reasoning on that a little more? The day before the performance, Mr. Knight borrowed the keys from Mr. Concerto. More specifically, the keys to his cell. Mr. Knight then used the keys to leave his cell and enter Mr. Saint's cage. Mr. Saint then took Mr. Knight to the yard in that cage. That's where he killed him. The following day, Mr. Concerto crawled his way through the tunnel, but there was no body there yet. It's like, that doesn't add up. Mr. Concerto smelled that sweet scent. So Mr. Knight must have been in the tunnel already. No, his body did not pass through the tunnel until sometime after Mr. Concerto had crawled through it. Mr. Concerto used that tunnel right around the time the show was starting. The body was discovered just after the performance ended. When we introduced the body could only have been thrown down the well during the show. Yes, and who the culprit must be?
Hold it!
Yeah. Are you sure about that? Could no one else have done it? I understand that Miss Sparrow was on stage for the entire performance. Most of the prisoners were watching the show. Alright. And those were... And those who were not have possibles alibi. What about the guards? They too were watching the show, as was the warden. How can you be so sure? A guard could have easily approached the well unnoticed. None of the guards left their posts during the show. I have checked this for myself, you know. I took statements from each and every one of them. She's thorough, I'll give her that. Are you finally ready to accept the truth? That the killer could have only been Simon Sent? Judge Gabriel hasn't carried out a full investigation of the yard yet. Which means we got the advantage for a change. I should review the evidence we gathered during the investigation of the yard.
Objection!
Sorry, Your Honor. But there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in New York is rigged up to a certain... was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption. A contraption? Go on. You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant. I do. Just before he was to be absent for some time. He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weight down the well allowed him to complete the trick.
Objection!
Wait! Were you not sent him flying as soon as he sat foot on stage?
Hold it!
It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stick to keep the rope in place. With the second rope, he was able to pull the stick free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with night spotting. That was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. The estimate time of death tells us that the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
Objection!
You're saying Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up, right? Well then, who do you think is number one? The most likely person who could have used it to dispose of the body? Even you must see how this looks.
Objection!
Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Grapple theorized, without these extra steps. Miss Berry? Yes? Does anyone else know how Mr. Saint's trick works? Well, let's see. We had to get the prisoner's approval on what we were going to perform, so I think Simeon was the only one who knows. And there you have it.
Overruled.
Interesting. You have certainly been diligent in your investigation, and yet I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right? Is that what I'm doing? Sorry, is what I'm doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so? How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you are doing wrong at this very moment? You are a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of common sense. You are breaking every rule in the book. I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. This is the path I have chosen, and whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. If you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can bring to bear. Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If it is her will that we must fight, then I shall end this once and for all. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, but there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from the cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint, and thus he remains the only possible suspect. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell. Why would he do that? Why would such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cell? I take such shock. Yeah, was pretty sus. I can't blame him. To a degree. But we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely possible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else. It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape. I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge.
Hold it!
You seem to think that Mr. Knight was killed here in the yard? When do you think he was brought here? Sometime between midnight and 8 AM, the day of the show. It can only have been during that time. In other words, between the end of rehearsal and the start of the performance. As I was saying, the body was moved from the yard to the workshop.
Hold it!
Alright. Were there no other ways he could have been here? Could have come here, sorry? Mr. Knight was awaiting trial. If he, a random non-inmate, had openly entered the prison proper, he surely would have been noticed. And presumably, none of your witnesses have testified to have seen such a thing. Precisely. Praise be to the goddess of justice for granting you this insight. Now, as you will agree, it can only be that Mr. Knight was brought over here in secret.
Hold it!
You certainly nobody else had the opportunity. Need I remind you that we are in a prison? We are in a prison? The entire facility is monitored at all times. Anything unordinary would have been spotted.
Hold it!
But Mr. Safe was under the same scrutiny. Was he not?
Overruled!
The warden had granted the members of the circus troupe special access. As a member of that troupe, under the supervision of Miss Barry, he is the only person who was free to wander where he willed.
Objection!
It seems that you've forgotten something, Your Honor.
Overruled!
Forget is not the word of. It's not a word in my vocabulary, Mr. Edgeworth. Very well. Then recall this fact, if you will. You claim that Mr. Saint is the only person who was free to walk around the prison. But there was a brief period of time on the day of the crime in this prison. A time when it would have been possible for anyone to move through the prison entirely unmonitored. Do I have to show that here? Okay. What do I have? That shows that there was a period of the crime when where oversight was limited. Hey, where's the camera? Oh, yeah, here it is.
Take that!
Mr. Sink is far from the only one who had the opportunity. Mr. Anthony, are we talking about it again? We previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours. And from this, we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasted for that length of time, during which anyone could have moved around the prison undetected. Do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That it was no simple cat and malfunction? Is that even possible? Completely possible to create the 3-hour time gap using this.
Take that!
Our investigation of the hour turned up something very interesting. A panel of breakers, one of which can be used to cut the power to the security cameras. Also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened at around the time of the murder. What? Such a shame. To see one so capable fall so short of the mark. Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing! Then how does he explain the lock on the power room door? Oh yeah, it was kind of locked up tight. And the warden's the only one with the key. Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure. I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily.
Objection!
No, but one person could have. I beg your pardon? That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them.
Objection!
What? There's no one like that. The breaker to that electric fence is in there. They would have been questioned in an instant. There's only one person who meets these criteria. I hardly believe myself. I have to follow where the logic leads. The person who had access to the power room key was...
Take that!
The real culprit is... Warden Lagarde. Oh, just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little pretty boy? He's not just a pretty face. Miss I also has quite the nose for sweet things. It seems he smells something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you. Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume. And perhaps it is the sweet stench of death. You're a regular poet, aren't you? I have no idea. But if I didn't know better, I almost think you were calling Moi a killer. The killer. That is precisely what I'm calling you. What? Warden Lagarde is the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying? Oh, such a naughty boy. How could he suspect me, I'm the one in charge around here. It's like we're in the murder mystery, aren't we? And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous.
Hold it!
Sadly, it is not. Though I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points. And we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence... Oh, shoot. This piece of evidence... This piece of evidence proves that Warden Lagarde is the killer. I'm gonna try the body.
Take that!
Yep. Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here is your accuser. The police dog? We had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, and it's coming from you! Oh, darling, you're priceless, really are. Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion. Verity, dear, do pretty minutes, please. Seems Judge Graviel may have reached a similar conclusion to myself. You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth? I do, after all. She had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to ourselves as coincidence. However, indeed, it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself. We should, and when we have, this case will finally be at an end. You're all being simply awful. Stop looking at me like that. Me, the killer? How could I possibly do such a thing? I didn't do it. Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in his cell, so by your logic, I would have had to kill him there. But how am I supposed to move the body? Especially as I never went into the prison. I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like. You won't find a record anywhere of my having entered or left the prison proper. I haven't the first idea of what harebrained theories she little scamps have cooked up, but I'm innocent. There's simply no way I could have been killed. Here, prick, Miss Edison, don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean. Oh dear, I'm afraid you're the one making things difficult. As I just said, I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go and check the records. He wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her. Please, Whichever, stop being a big silly. You've made a boo-boo, and you know it. Alright. Part 1?
Hold it!
Just Graviel told you everything? Are you close? Pick his fees, darling. Why do you ask? Are you jealous? Jealous? Of what? I happily asked Warden Lagarde for a lot of information on the first day of our investigation. It seems only right that I share some information in return. But Faraday, do you have to make it sound so awfully dry? I thought we had a lovely chat. I simply shared the truth in our conversation. It was the least I could do. I'm not sure what's going on, but these two... they're terrifyingly formidable together.
Hold it!
Murder took place in his cell? You seem very happy to accept that. And why shouldn't I be? It seems the most likely place for it to have happened without drawing attention. And besides, they found Knight's body in a cell. Yes. But that was being struck by Mr. Concerto. Though I didn't tell her that, I suppose. And I take it there is also no testimony to the contrary. What does it matter? Knight being killed in his cell doesn't go against any of the facts anyway.
Hold it!
Do you have any evidence that you didn't enter the prison? Please, Aaron, let me finish.
Hold it!
So you were in your office the whole time? And you didn't notice anything? No, can't say I did. And you didn't notice anything missing? I must confess, I am a rather messy girl. And a forgetful one at that. I put something down and it's lost forever. It's a curse, darling, a curse. And I even lost some important evidence recently. It was gone, poof, just like that. What? She still has a job? Honestly, if somebody came into my office and took something, it might be years before I can do this. It seems like I need more than the power room key to expose her. On the day of the murder, I was working in my office. Oh, I'm looking for something I misplaced. Even if I had a reason to go into the prison, I simply wouldn't have had the time.
Hold it!
Sure. Maybe you didn't go through the main entrance to the prison. But what if you took another route? Oh, come on, sweetie. Surely you didn't. You don't mean that awful, filthy tunnel they discovered? Why, until yesterday, I had no idea it even existed. No. You had another way in. I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. The route you took went through this location.
Take that!
Through the fence? Through the fence? Warden, you took Knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just so happens to be connected to the yard. Alright, if you had a way through the fence, then you would be able to you would be able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel. A good start for creativity, darling. And how would I have gotten through the fence, The extremely high fence, topped with razor wire, with thousands of volts of electricity going through it. Yeah, how is she supposed to have gotten through that, The fence's electricity supply can be cut from the power room. And only you had the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it.
Overruled!
A little ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden Lagarde was on the detention center side. How would she have even have reached the power room? Exactly, Ferdy, dearly, darling. Yes, clever puss. You've dug yourself a real hole now. If there is no record of Warren Lagarde having entered the prison proper, then the idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the breaker is out of the question. But there must be some way she could have done it. Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool, and you've lost everything. But if I don't find a solution, she might still wriggle out of this. Hey, I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. There's nothing to begin by banging her head against the same wall, yeah? No matter how you look at it, Warden Lagarde couldn't have done it alone. Mr. Edgeworth, you couldn't find out. You aren't doing yourself any favors by obstructing justice with your silence. That was a reflexive objection. Kinda happens a lot. Now that I've yelled it, don't come up with an answer, it's all over. I feel like I need to save. I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me. Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker on the wrong side of the fence. Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. What enables her to shut off the breaker? She couldn't have done it alone. What if she wasn't alone? Ooh, now we're talking! Way to flex the old grey monarch, kiddo! I believe that Warden Lagarde had an accomplice.
Overruled.
Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth. What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth has said nothing wrong. The inmates of this prison are all issued with security bracelets. The one that raises the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Ah! It seems that you have realized your error. We are, of course, within the prison grounds. We're not only the bracelets worn. We're not only under bracelets worn, but even the guards surveil each other there for signs of wrongdoing. Despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Consario's escape. The only one who's afraid to roam are the animals, and they most certainly could not have operated the breaker. No, so her accomplice must be human.
Overruled.
Then who did it? Given that it cannot have been a prisoner or a guard.
Objection.
I won't be so quick to rule on either, Your Honor. Fact is, there's one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted. I have just evidence to show that who that free-roaming person was. Thanks on, everybody! This is one of the prisoner's bracelets. Indeed, a broken bracelet belongs to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner. What do you mean? And who is this prisoner? Frank Salt, Warden Lagarde's favorite inmate. Oh, that's a face. It's strange, isn't it, Warden? That he was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while. That is pretty funky. I don't mean in a good way. It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although, you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others. Go ahead, have Harmon Kenneth, for example.
Overruled.
Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation.
Objection.
In that case, why don't we ask Mr. Salt himself? I'm confident he will confirm to us that he and Warden Lagarde were accomplices in this crime. If the two of them have worked together, a certain route into the prison becomes viable. A real route in which by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall that there were two big obstacles in her path. First, the security camera outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the courtyard, in the yard. But she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop by having Mr. Sauce shut off the corresponding breakers. Hold it! Alright, Mr. Edgeworth. You've had your fun. And? You still deny it, Warden Lagarde? No, darling. You got me. I admit it. Warden! Tell me this isn't true. Sorry, Freddy, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie, help me do it. No way! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! You got her! Nice shooting, cowboy! She won't be wriggling into this night. As Mr. Edgeworth said, I have Frankie switch out the breaker. But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, sweetums. No, we didn't. What? Warden, explain yourself. Oh, Fairy dear, I doubt your precious scholars will want to hear my excuse now. Excuse now. She is all merciful. You have but to confess, and you shall be saved. Oh gosh, alright. I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said. Who's he? Uehara Kenneth, that awful assassin. Yes? How long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived. And when we were alone, he said this to me. You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution. Others? Yes. Very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them. Of course, he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies. And then he said one last thing. I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you or your precious family. I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for. Everything? Wait! Is that how he became the fixer? Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command and smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought the dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him too. So you were smuggling in contraband? How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breaker. That allows me to go from my office into the yard without being seen by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the package down between the well on the prison's side and went back for the fence. Each one of them sprayed it with a little of my perfume. That is what that sweet so that's what the sweet smell was. Yes, it was a signal for Kansas dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the package and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Rocco, who wasn't in his cell at the time, of course, and have a bit kind of an easy keeping him from hiding out. Oh, we're all very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs on a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. And the adorable little burr, his freezes with fright at the sight of Kansas dog. Poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the arm either. He has oversight over everything here at the prison, which makes her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Kenneth couldn't fail. Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the breakers back on, and our work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes for the camera, which I would do later when I got the chance. You have shared a great deal, Warden. Gods of Justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool. Now I have I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge here. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days. And so Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. But there was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out into the yard. So that's the secret behind the Fixer system. Why she was... The police have been trying to track down his accomplice. This is for the longest time. Even I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know. Heavens knows how many times I've hauled the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. No matter what I say, or how much evidence I present him with, he simply won't say a word. That's why you were interrogating Mr. Kenneth over and over. Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hench people of his. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move, intercepted every letter he wrote. His letters. And I suppose she must know about his correspondent chess games, too. But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's... Oh, you can't just comprehend it. As you have just heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth, the words of Warden Lagarde's confession have cleansed her of all suspicions. Surely there is no need to hound her any longer. She's really been cleared of all suspicions, though. Or is there more to her about her own cover? Some part 1 are removed. No, still part 1. We'll go a little longer. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet. And I think the gods of justice would agree. So you mean to make her suffer even more than she already has? Unfortunately, she's suffering under Mr. Kenneth. There's nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of, and even facilitated, the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used the same route to move Knight's body. And where's your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth? It's in the fact that the sweet smell of Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden Lagarde uses to signal a delivery. What do you make of that? Well, that's because we've done it so many times by night that the whole well probably smells of it. Some must have just rubbed off on his body. That does match the statement that Mr. Kenneth provided. Smell, yeah, all smell kind of nice down there. Nice? Geez, I don't know, smells sort of like dessert, I guess. Its words would seem to suggest that the smell had premeditated as well. You have been rendered speechless, I see. Then I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court. No! What are we doing, Mr. Edgeworth? What can I do? Is this as far as we go? Finally! So we're actually done? Yes, Eustace. It seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned. Hold it! Who was that? Come on, Judge G. Things are just getting good. Ender, are you objecting to my during the session? No. Would have started an objection if I wanted to do that. You do you, G. Adjourn. Don't adjourn. Whatever. Float your boat. What are you doing, Mr. Fender? Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's all just take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a squirrel of chocolate goodness. Anyone? Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court? Oh no, my bad. I just had a quick request to make a call. That's all. Ah, Steven Saint's lawyer, that is. Ah, yes. I had forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender. Hi, Kuchi! Killing me here! You blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time! Right you are, which is why I figure it's time to put in some work. Work, you say? Somehow, I don't believe you've worked a day in your life. And then let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Might have a question to witness. Nah, amazing, but what is there left to ask? I got a feeling my funny moon that Bees here has something more to tell us about the killer. Do I? Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. Ah, you don't think he did it, do you? So, tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans! We're all ears! Mr. Edgeworth, what's he doing? He's trying to coach Warden Lagarde into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go into all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Kenneth. She did? No way! If he was convicted of committing murder here, that could have been grounds for a transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility. And where he'd be out of her forever, huh? Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it. No. Sid can't be. Sid cannot be the killer. That's not fair. I was already to prosecute him. Hello, right? Maybe we should find out what he thinks first. You want to get the wrong guy, yeah? Nice! Now Mr. has to go along with it too. Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Of course! How can I refuse this silver-tongued devil? Edikins, you have such a way with words. I'm just doing my job, please. Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all, Fairy darling. Do say you'll let me. As you wish, court is adjourned. Can't believe you put that off, Mr. Fender. Whew, me neither. Thank you for the timely intervention. Hey, it's the least I could do. It's not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard. And besides, the defense never rests. Am I right? Simeon's depending on us. Sally, I think I can. Sorry, I'm just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there. I can't follow this one up now. Which means you're up the bat, Miles, Miss. Show him that never rests spirit. I shall. Bye, Blitz. Then let's get started. My truth. I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man, Kenneth. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the details, it was him. He stabbed that poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened. The victim, Mr. Knight, yes? I did him the most terrible disservice. Yes, you killed him. I suppose you could put it that way. If it weren't such a sorry excuse for Warden, this would never have happened. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess. Warden Lagarde, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit. I am certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude. We've never met Mr. Knight. See? Part 2!
Hold it!
You seem very confident in your assertion. Why is that? Alright. Because all the other children in my little home are absolute sweethearts. They have faith in themselves and in one another. They have faith in the guards, in me. And they work hard every day to better themselves. None of them would dare commit murder. That's a very touching reason indeed. I don't believe a word of it. But Canis, oh, he's rotten to the core. He's the only one who would do something like that.
Hold it!
Knight was being kept in the holding cell, while Mr. Canis was the prisoner proper. Okay. What could possibly have happened between them? And when they were at opposite ends of the facility. Prisons aren't as big as they seem, you know. All kinds of other things can happen. Knight only arrived 2 days before he was murdered. I can't imagine anything significant happening in that short span of time. Space of time. They don't know Canis, my dear. He'll find a way, I'm sure.
Hold it!
How could he take a disliking to somebody all the way over in the holding cells? But we're just plucking possibilities out of thin air, darling. As I said, there's no telling what really went on between them. You're so awfully serious, aren't you? Not that I mind, of course. Why is he looking at me like that? So noble, so dashing in a marvelous suit, so clever. I can feel myself becoming your biggest fan, darling. I really can. Stay with me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wasn't prepared for that mental onslaught.
Hold it!
What more can you tell us about these sordid details? Well, we all know what kind of one's dead for a living. I doubt the killing part can give him much trouble. Especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think. Couldn't turn his head to the right, poor dear. That's what they told me once they brought him in anyway. Must have made sure. They must have made some sort of report for the warden when new prisoners are admitted. You seem keen for us to think you didn't know much about Knight. That's because I didn't, sweetie. And the victim was simply a fun target for that monster, nothing more. I expect Canis uses so that was hidden in that chest set, don't you? Awful grisly business. Just imagine, the man probably didn't even have the time to cry out. See, thank you for your thoughts. They were very helpful. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail, if you don't mind. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course we can talk about them some more. I expected Canis use that chisel that was hidden in that chest set, don't you?
Hold it!
Oh, we have a few exhibits to go with here. Which chest set would that be, precisely? Why, the one the victim brought in, sweetie. Do try to keep up. The victim was a certified chess fanatic, so I'm led to believe. But the naughty boy snuck a chisel inside it, can you imagine? How did you know about the chisel in the chess set? Only few people were supposed to know about that. After all, we only learned about it thanks to a certain deduction we made. How did she find out? Of course, in the hands of a mechanist, even a chisel could serve as a deadly weapon.
Hold it!
You seem to have very strong feelings about Mr. Canis. Well, of course I do. I told you what he said to me. And what an absolute menace he was to interrogate. He could slither out of anything, the snake. Sounds as tough as a rock. And that infuriating self-satisfying look at his face when they took him back to his cell. Argh, my blood boils just thinking about him. Certainly don't blame her on that count.
Hold it!
Surely you're not suggesting that the dog threw the body down the well? I told you already, darling. Canis has more dogs than that beastly creature. Remember, he has pets on the outside too. You mean he brought someone in from the outside? Sorry, from outside the prison to help him commit the crime? Of course not, silly. How would they have made it free security? He's the so-called fixer, no? Exercise that 5 superiors a little. How hard would it be for him to recruit a dog on the inside, or even plant one? Interesting. Does this dog have a name? Well, if I knew that, my life would be so much easier now, wouldn't it? Anyway, it was just a little thought. You can ponder it in your own sweet time, darling. It's a slippery one. I'm not going to be able to catch her with this line of questioning, it seems. Guard's testimony is a little more than the House of Cards. You need to push her on the right statements to bring it all tumbling down. So, that's in...
Objection!
Warden the guard, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests. Oh, Mr. Ashworth, please. Call me PP, or Sweetie Pie if you prefer. However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instant. Teehee, aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed, we're all family here. Come on, Mr. Ashworth, don't let her get inside your head. You said earlier that you didn't know much about Knight. In which case, I find it rather strange that you know about the chisel. Well, of course I do, dealing. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in?
Objection!
You're not talking your way out this, Warden. That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chess set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived. What? Well, of course that when Mr. Saint came in wing.
Objection!
You checked him? I find it hard to believe. Because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. You found the chisel. Why'd you not confiscate it there and then? Judge Graville, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set? I did not. If no one leaked our findings, then how likely did you learn about the chisel, Warden Regard? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival. Indeed, such a thing would imply an intentional oversight if it had been found, yet left blurry. Precisely. So, Warden Regard, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess set? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit that you hold it. Alright, darling. There's no need to rub it in. You got me alright. I questioned Knight, that was, when I learned about the chess set. Please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him. One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. This court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? None, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, darlings. I'll clear up this awful misunderstanding, I promise. Very well. Go ahead, Warden Lagarde. I'm pleased. Tell the truth this time. I just started to wear Finn. This is my chance to expose her. My truth part 2. I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything about serious, you understand? I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away. The more she lies, the more thorough she seals her fate. So it was a simple conversation with a new detainee. That seems entirely above board. Exactly, Ferdy, darling. I knew you understand.
Objection!
Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement? I suppose we shall see, won't we, Mr. Edgeworth? You may begin your cross-examination. Alright. This should be the last one. Be final for confrontation then, right? Or not.
Hold it!
So I'm right in assuming that you talked the night before the show? Exactly, darling. It would have been, around 3 a.m. on the 27th. 3 a.m.? I fall squarely within the window of time laid out in the autopsy report. That seems rather late for a friendly chat. Wouldn't he have been asleep? Normally, yes. But if you remember, our guard was attacked in a cell. We had to examine the scene of the crime, gather information. These things take time, sweetie. I assure you, he was wide awake. We all were. Regardless, I find it somewhat odd that you would choose to question him at such a late hour. Oh, you're such a tease, aren't you? Anyway, no matter how odd you think it is, I had him brought to me, and that's what happened. Must you really insist on questioning every last thing I say? Barbies. He's like a dog with a bone sometimes. I'll be sure to scold him once we're done. So, would you mind giving us a little more info? Like where you had him brought to? My office, of course. Where else? My office. Just where we believe the body was moved from. Would you mind amending what you just said to your testimony? Anything for you, darling. It was around 3 a.m. the night before the show. I had to bring him to my office.
Hold it!
Mind where your office. One thing I want to check. That does fit perfectly. Remind me where your office is. You've seen the sack in the detention center corridor, I imagine. I want to say it's no entry. That's it, sweetie. My office is just up there. A short walk from the holding cell. I understand that you also have access to the yard. Why, of course. That's where my gorgeous little garden is. Oh, I see where you're going with this. You're saying that that's how I moved the body? You had the means and the opportunity. It's hardly impossible.
Overruled!
Hardly impossible proves nothing. You have no evidence for this assertion.
Objection!
There's no other way that the body could have been moved.
Overruled!
Surely you haven't forgotten that it was Mr. Saint who dropped Mr. Knight's body down the well? Yeah, what she said. You're miles off, Edgeworth. Why shouldn't push this any further for now?
Hold it!
What did you and Knight speak about? Oh, nothing much. Just some small talk, really. I asked him about what animal he liked, what his hobbies were. His hobbies? And I imagine he talked about chess. Oh yes, I couldn't stop him from talking about it, in fact. He even had a piece of paper covered with a little notes about it in his cell. At least, I think that's what they were about. You should see Knight's corresponding chess diagram.
Hold it!
How was it when you... How was he when you spoke with him? Oh, he was so open and honest, darling. What? A guy? Honest? Alright. What was... He was talking about one croissant and promoting a prawn. I suppose he must have been hungry. And peasant and promoting a prawn. Seems he spared no one from his obsession with chess.
Hold it!
If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today. Hold it. You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? But what would my motive been, darling? I told you I barely knew him. I know Angel. I have my grudges against Kenneth, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. She really does say Kenneth. Warden Lagarde, I must insist that you append that statement to your testimony. I knew Angel, I had my grudge against Candace, but the Knight had enough with that animal.
Hold it!
She may have just fought herself. So you bear a grudge against only Mr. Kenneth, is that correct? No, I despise him. Coming from my position, thinking he can do whatever he wants. He won't get away with it. I'll clip his wicked wings if it's the last thing I do. And that awful dog heads, it's a mess, completely unpainted the piece in front of my house. Who hits his dog? It does seem at first glance that she didn't have much more to kill Knight. She hates Kenneth so much she probably hates anyone who has anything to do with him. Thinking about it from that angle, the key to breaking her testimony will surely reveal itself. Nice to get to all the peeps, huh? Pretty chummy prison warden, if you ask me. Chummy? She killed the man detective! Poor guy would have in cuffs, not to mention the neck brace. It was defenseless. Lagarde was the murderer. Evidence points to that conclusion and no other. I think I know the evidence. And the statement too.
Objection!
You think I was going for the other one? Just Raphael, I'd like you to take a look at this. Note about a game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth? It was found in Knight's cell. Which is exactly where you said it was. Sorry, which is where you said you saw it too, Warden Lagarde. But you didn't see this game of Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Cannon's cell too. Oh, did? What do you mean?
Objection!
Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security. I imagine you watch this every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option. You want to find out who his cronies are, right? Personally, interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. As you said, Mr. Kenneth had threatened you, with your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were. And so what I did, you also told us that you read his letters, and you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondent chess. Ah! Then, who should appear but the Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. Fine. So we ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men. It seems you came to the same conclusion. In your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You summarized that Knight was Mr. Kane's henchman, sent to kill you. Which is the real reason she had that chat with the Bronster. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would. And when you question Knight, you made another discovery. For inside his chest set, you found a hidden chisel. The murder weapon itself? As far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing, Kenneth. Thus, you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Kenneth. And that is why you killed him. I see you have no more excuses. Judge Garbell, your verdict, please. Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt. I hereby get my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered by Odin. In the name of the goddess of justice, who is it this time? Odin? The joke is all a big stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you? I think we've proven that it was you who didn't understand things correctly. Me? Please, darling. I understand it's all perfectly well, thank you very much. I understand that there was a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth. We're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict. I feel like we may have to do one more.
Overruled.
I am curious to hear what the warden has to say. What? You're dull, Fairly. I just have one last thing to say. Then Mr. Edgeworth can declare himself the winner. You rang? Does anyone remember a certain autopsy report? Of course. You received the finalized version only this morning. That's right, and I was listening to what you told us about it, Fairly. Even if no one else was. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches. Wait. You don't mean this, Mr. Edgeworth? How does one tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound? Forgive me, oh goddess. I came personally close to making a terrible mistake. Looks like your theory is the one that doesn't hold water, Edgeworth. What now? What do we do? It'll be fine. Mr. Edgeworth always comes through, right, sir? Looks to me like the maelstrom is out of commission. You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why don't you do something? Turn that thing on his head with a desperate bluff. Blurt out the first mind-blowing thing that comes to you. Look, detective, I'm as much of a man of action as the next guy. Without evidence, we're at the creek without a paddle here. This might be the end of the road. Can't give up now. We have to do something. Certain that Warren Lagarde is the killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. The chisel wasn't the murder weapon. What other bladed weapon is there here in the facility? It seems we still do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to prove those answers. Alas, we must wait until the trial to see this matter resolved, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Aw, come on, G. You're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence.
Overruled!
Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender? Eek. Nope, not me. Nuh-uh. I tried, Miles. Anybody ideas? What is the real murder weapon? Since it's clearly not the chisel. Found it! This question throws everything with the doubts out the window. Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties. It's hopeless. I can't think of anything. I need more time. Move as I am to admit it. I hold it. We can't give up now. Remember what Mr. Fender said? Samuel's counting on us. Without us, he's... Remember how upset he was? He was devastated. Oh, but he's in more pain than him over Knight's death. Sorry, no way he's in more pain than him over Knight's death. Sorry. There's no way he did it. But if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. I for one won't walk away until we have some. Hey. Geez, Miles, your little buddy here is quite the motivational speaker. And she's right too. When you find yourself on the ropes, look at your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Look at your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he always find a way to turn it around and save his clan. You're just like him, right? If there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who will find it. Simeon's counting on you. Coach Graviel. You seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. And if you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories and have made numerous false accusations. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor and relieve you of your badge for good. He's right. I had put forward a number of theories that proved to be flawed in one way or another. And I think we're actually at the end. Gotta prove one thing, that we made some sort of fundamental oversight. Wait, you said my theories were misguided. Nothing to say. Then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby... Sir! Sir Edgeworth! Give my verdict. It. I've been thinking about the wrong way all this time. My theory weren't misguided. I was being misled. The defendant seems to...
Objection!
I think it's a little too soon for that, Your Honor. I say it's well past due, darling. Will you agree, Faraday? Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed. What? I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of his dog, Helmut, and the fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors make Mr. Kenneth the obvious suspect at first.
Overruled.
It's a game, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder.
Hold it.
But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Kenneth? What if it was all carefully arranged? What if the same was true of the chisel, our proposed murder weapon? Reporter might have been stabbed multiple times in the same place as the bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just the traces of blood on for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel is the murder weapon. But why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Alright. Why make us think the chisel is the murder weapon rather than whatever was really used? Gordon, you took advantage of what the chisel seems to suggest. What it suggests? What are you talking about, darling?
Hold it.
So, winner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think? Huh? Oh, that Mr. Kenneth is the killer. And there you have it. That was the trap the warden set for us. Oh, Mr. Kenneth had a bunch of chisels. So she wanted us to think it was one of his, right? Indeed. That was her plan right from the start. The frame Burihara of Kenneth. Your reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden Lagar certainly seems to harbor a deep, unabiding hatred for Mr. Kenneth. However, I think you know what I'm going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden Lagarde is the killer. I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we know must assist. If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here.
Objection.
We could find the real murder weapon.
Objection.
How many times do we have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom. This is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found, so I'm afraid you're at a bit of an impasse.
Objection.
I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor. But it's still inside the prison, this prison. This would have made sure of that. The security gate... I'm glad you at least remember what it is. And you do remember what it does. Of course I do, I'm not an idiot. The security gate detects metal. Which means you can't bring any metal into the prison, or take it out. Oh! Precisely. If there is another weapon, it cannot have been taken off the premise. But nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. And so we find ourselves right back where we began. Ms. Graviel. What I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that if you wish for me to believe that there is another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how I got here. Alright. We know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside the pocket chest set. But our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. If the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in. Yes, the question of the hour is this. Can you show me this alternative route? How did the weapon Warden Guard use to get into the prison? Plain as if. You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation, is that correct? Oh yes, sweetie. Everything related to Kenneth is with me now. Kenneth knows how I pulled him. I pulled this secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. Of course, that's how. The fact that this here Rufus shows how the blade. Sorry. The fact that this is here with us shows how the bladed object could have been brought into the facility as well. I'm thinking maybe this.
Take that!
Yeah. Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Kenneth yesterday. Yes, it was but one of my bells. One of only 2 in assistance. Just 2? 2 and only 2. One for my knife and one for my beloved helmet. It's exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide after all. And I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me. You see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized. As part of the evidence, Warden Lagarde borrowed from the police. Ow. Kenneth's knife was part of the evidence in the case against him. And that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it. The bell that was attached to the chisel? Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel. But that can't be right. The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it. Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. It may look as if the chisel was the murder weapon and attached the bell to it. In doing so, she made sure that all the evidence points to Mr. Kenneth. And who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken? Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted. Who was it, sir? Who's been messing with the evidence? I believe it would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden Lagarde? Hold it. Bells aren't exactly where you know. Anyone could set that up.
Objection!
I'm looking for you. That isn't quite true. These particular bells are unique because there are only 2 of them in existence. One. By attaching that bell to the chisel, you're as good as declared yourself the killer. Is it? But you don't have any proof that the knife was ever even here to begin with.
Hold it!
I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Winter, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away. Huh? Oh, but if you do find something, that's going to make things offer for me. This isn't about what's convenient for you. You have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Well, yeah, but, you know, this is just for a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it. Anyhow, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have the authority to would have the authorizing. You know full well that she would do no such thing. Have the power to insist on a search. Use it! Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence. Gods of justice cannot bestow her blessings on those who lack the proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom. Oh, give Lagarde the opportunity. She'll destroy whatever evidence is left. You object. I have to stop them. I say, I don't have anything concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. No, I can't back down now. I have to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint. That means, even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot. It's now or never. Do I object? I have a theory. I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Objection!
Wait, Your Honor? This hat better be good, Mr. Edgeworth. I got it. Got what exactly? A real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Kenneth's knife is. You really do, Mr. Edgeworth? I do. Hello. I did not know better. I said you were bluffing. You warned me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. It's terrible for my heart. There is no way you could. It's not here, I tell you. Well, would you be kind of assume likeness? Where is the real murder weapon? Think, Miles. Think. Somewhere not even the police would search. Blind spot in this suit. Blind spot that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place? No. If you insist. Come now, Helmut. Come on, Helmut. Open up. Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be? Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting? There's the faintest possibility I'm right. If I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden.
Take that!
Here, in the yard? Indeed. I don't believe I understand. Could you try to explain a little more? Where exactly is the real murder weapon hidden?
Take that!
Of course. That's what it must have been. What's the matter, detective? It's the metal detector, sir. It's reacting to the alligator. What? Hi. Metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence. The chisel? Didn't you just figure out that isn't the murder weapon? You might recall that Mr. Kenneth hid this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? That's right, the murder weapon is inside the alligator in that pond over there. What? Away! We detect the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Gravel, we need to know what's inside that alligator. Understood. Then we will need to summon that Fatarium. I'm sure I could get the little sweetie open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try. Please, by all means. Word in the guard. The real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess? I have nothing to confess. You wish, and you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed. Where we got it? That has to be it. It's over, VP Lacard. The real murder weapon is Benihara's Kenneth's knife, making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight. I'm not the criminal here. This is all Kenneth's thing. I did the right thing. That was a threat. He was Kenneth's lover. First, that despicable man, Kenneth. Why did he have to come and ruin my perfect little home? Me. He could have been happy for it if it wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on Earth. He ruined everything. Curse him. Curse that pitiless butcher. That awful, terrible, despicable man. Curse him. I'm not interested. Aw. That's an interesting one. March 29th, 12:34 p.m. Detention Center corridor. Prosecutor, the winner, sir. The test results have come back. I just come back. Winner? I guess we've all been under a lot of stress. This is a Bronco Knight's blow referendum as a Kansas knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You can continue to compliment me if you like. Yes, sir. Twitter wins again. I think I'm on up a little. With rage. Excellent work, Eustace. Just a few loose ends to tie up and we're done. Huh? What are you talking about? I just saw the kiss, didn't I? You have yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Kenneth. It will be vital to know if Warden Lagarde was simply jumping to conclusions on that front. Huh? Huh? There's Clueless, and then there's you. Well, I guess we better get back to our investigation. Alright, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness First Street investigation talent in action. Investigative talent in action. Yes, sir. I remember you, sir. Have witnessed what you work. It's winning time! I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is news enough, and his would-be assassin has been murdered. Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place. The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth. In the eyes of both society and the law. How can you even say that? You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in. Being the prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe. We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences. This is not even me! Wait, you're not going to take his! I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth. Just Graviel's right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. Following the law means sacrificing the truth. I really do that in consciousness? Simeon, you're right! Hi, Regina. Is everything alright? They did let you, right? Yeah. But I'm so confused about what's going on. Some guy just came in and said I was free to go. And that I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank. You sure do! Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is. Wow, really? You did that for Mr. Edgeworth? Hey! Oh no. No. Stop staring at me like that. I'm innocent, I swear. Don't pull the wrong guy from under me now. Stop it, silly. It's true. He saved you. Say thanks already. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. And a great big Regina Barry thank you for me too. The saint's talking directly to me. Well, pictures, I suppose. Can I just ask you one question, Mr. Attorney? Oh, sure. I'm not exactly an attorney, though. I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him, but now... Well, it's just... I never would have believed that he could hit somebody enough to want to kill them. If he kept something like that for me, then he never really trusted me, did he? That's not true, Simeon. Of course he trusted you. No, he didn't. If he had just told me, I could have stopped him. I could have told him that hit never helps. That he had to let go of all that stuff. Mr. Saint, I believe you're forgetting something. Show him the thing that proves that I trusted him. It is the chest that.
Take that!
It's the chest that I brought for him. Knight had hidden a chisel inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape. What? You mean he was using me? No, he believed in you. He knew he couldn't count on you to bring it, and that he would never be so untrusting as to look inside. I imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could keep you from getting caught up in this mess. Oh, poor Uncle, why didn't you tell me? At least you understand now, right, Simeon? I'm sure he does. He may not show up, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow. That's not as complimentary as you think it is. Oh, I'll try. I have to for Bronco. I have to show him I can become the best animal team out there. That's the spirit. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. Ah, Maximilian Glag is there. I'll be joining Regina's on stage for this one. That's right, the Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun. Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, well, we have to go. Well, I'll think about it. Alright, Simeon. We got some training to do. I think it's time you and Regina got acquainted. What? Regina the tiger? No way, I can't. No. Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cat. I can't. Please, Regina, everyone out, please. Another satisfied customer. Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag. I couldn't have done it without you, Fender. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I had to thank you for even being able to investigate the case in the first place. No, Saba, pop me on the back any harder and you're gonna make me blush. Or topple over. Suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously. Seriously? Honest, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how's it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all. Be an attorney? Gotta say, I had a blast. Reminded me of the good old days. Like Greggy was standing right there beside me. It's been like a silly year since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job. That's good. Bittersweet? I'm not sure. Alright, Miles. You ever thought about going into the defense game full time? Excuse me? No, pick up where Gravy left off. Get out there and actually help people. Hey pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides. Why not? Coming over to the light side's all the rage. Everyone's doing it these days. Oh, Mr. Fender, you know it's not about that. Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question. Oh, you weren't. Heck, you were. Looks like you gotta be the defense team yourself, Miles. Fender, I'm a prosecutor. Yep, and I'm an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I said my piece. You change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting. Follow my father's footsteps. Did I really do such a thing? I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. Attorney like my father. Me. Oh, that's how we ended. Okay, cool. Finally. If you guys get right into this one. Hey, we're finally on the first kiss. Damn. How about the legacy? Alright. And this is a... Let's see the gallery. Then wrap up. So, let's check the full album. It's more likely going to be... Yep. All the offense... all the offense have been happening. Here. The Acolytes, we are... Oh! We're gonna get this one too. Cool. Alright, Compendium. Using all this. There's still some? Ah, security guard. Still some? There we go. Alright. That'll be it for now, though. Hope you guys this week. So next time we're doing Turtle Legacy, finally on the third episode. There are... how many episodes left? 2 more after this. Well, we've got some time. We gotta give it a turn. Anyway, I'll be it for now. Hope you all like this week. I'll see you next time. Bye.